This is it. This is the one and only podcast where I like to talk with the homies that have been doing the music thing for a long time. So, without further ado, I want to introduce our first guest. Actually, my first guest today. All right, we got the one and only Lute, and this brother has done everything. All right, check this out. In 2012, he dropped his first mixtape called The West 1996 and was signed to Dreamville Records in 2015. He followed it up with his sequel in 2017 and then hit us with the Goldmouth album in 2021. This dude's been making noise out here in these streets. And then on top of that, he had the title track on one of my favorite records of all time on ROTD's project with Under the Sun with the Baby, J. Cole.
I'm trying, man.
Come on, man.
Trying,
Come on, man.
You reading it out, it's just like, hold on, man.
I ain't even know.
Like, damn.
I ain't even know, but check this out. Then you open Goldmouth Garage.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get it, bro. Let's get into it. Y'all, welcome to JetHaus. We got the homie Lute.
Nah, I appreciate you having me, bro.
Man, come on,
what I'm saying? It's been a minute. It's been a long time coming. But I'm matter of fact, I know you was reading your list off, but bro, I'm proud of you myself, my boy.
Man,
like I see the shit you doing, and I really appreciate it, bro. Like it's inspiring. Because it's called JetHaus.
That's
show, but this literally started from the crib. You know what I mean? So
in the house. Thank you, man.
Seeing where it started and seeing what it's become is definitely inspiring, bro. So
that means a lot, man.
Nah,
we working.
Nah, we try. Yeah, we working. We doing. I always say I'm trying, but we doing.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day.
Absolutely, man. Well, I love to see the progression. I mean, what's going on in your world these days?
To be honest, I've been kind of out the way, but for a reason. I just been trying to. I've been, cause like the conversation we had earlier, we getting a little older. So I've been trying to tap into present day me.
Yeah.
For a while, I've been working off of me when I first started this. Like, I'm not the same. I'm not that 18-year-old artist that I used to be anymore. Yeah. So I've just been trying to let my life catch up with me.
Wow.
You know, so I kind of took a step back. And life be lifing. So, you know, I had a couple things. Like my dad passed, my grandma passed. A couple other people in my life passed since then. So it's like I just been trying to, you know, collect my thought and gather myself for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and I always hear this term, you know, about when we're getting older, trying to find that inner youth, that inner kid, right? Like reconnecting with our roots. And so you've led an incredible life, incredible journey. You've got a beautiful daughter as well. Mm-hmm. When you think back at who you were as a kid, little Luther, right? Talk to us about, like, you know, that journey and you becoming the artist you are today as a kid. Like, what was the dream?
As a kid, man, I was very my imagination was just huge, bro. And there was nothing you couldn't tell me that I had already had my mind set to do that I couldn't do it.
Wow.
And like, for example, and sometimes that's my default.
Okay.
For example, right, when I was younger, me and some homies, like, we lived in a neighborhood that was just developing. So they were still building houses and still would have like wood left around. And so one day the homies, they saw me making stuff out of the wood, and they like, bro, what is you doing with this wood? I'm like, nigga, I'm building a plane. And they like, bro, you can't build a plane, bro. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm building a plane, and I'm gonna fly this motherfucker, and y'all gonna be, I'm gonna be laughing at y'all when I'm flying. Couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I literally thought this plane was gonna fly, bro. I had a homeboy, had a go-kart. We talked, after I done building the plane and doing what I had to do, my homie, I tied it to a go-kart. We built the ramp. Bro, as soon as it hit the ramp, the whole plane fell apart. You know what I'm saying? So everybody laughing at me or whatever. But in that moment, bro, you could not tell me that I wasn't about to build this plane and make it fly. And I'd rather had it fell apart than people tell me, oh, you can't build a plane, and I ain't even try to build a plane type thing. You know what I'm saying? But that's always been me, bro.
Wow.
Even to this day, like, if I have my mind set on something, can't nobody tell me that's not gonna work.
That's deep. It shows in your work ethic, man. It shows.
But I say that to say that sometimes I will focus so hard on something, even if it fails, I will put all my energy into that said thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, how you can give somebody helpful advice, but sometimes they gotta. I'm the type of person where if you tell me not to touch the stove, I'm still gonna touch the stove because I gotta figure out how hot it is for myself.
Right.
Type thing. So sometimes that's my default, and sometimes that's like my plus, or you know.
That's dope. That's dope. So when you were a kid, did you start rapping then, or did you start when you was like high school?
I got more tapped in high school.
Yeah.
Around 12.
Okay.
Around
That's
12.
A good age.
You know, my mom and my dad, they were older parents. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't really tapped into hip hop. I was tapped into hip hop, but I didn't really get like introduced to high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like it was around me, and I was I was around it, but I was only around but so much of it. It opened up when I got to high school because everybody got different tastes.
So it's funny. So we probably got similar backgrounds because my parents didn't let me watch like all the classic black films. They didn't let me listen to a lot of the R&B hip hop stuff till I didn't listen to that stuff till I got to high school.
Music wise, no, I couldn't. I didn't like. My mom hated ODB.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She hated Wu-Tang, but ODB was my favorite rapper.
Oh, dope.
But it wasn't until I got to high school where it's like I was open to all these different hip hop artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like my mom was only listening to the oldies. Yeah. You know, so like I know every Temptation album, Smokey Robinson, like I know all the oldies, but like hip hop, I wasn't. Yeah.
Wow. That's dope though. So when you started getting introduced to it, like name me like 2 or 3 of your favorite go-to artists when you was 12, 13 years old.
Eminem.
Okay.
Outkast, ODB, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Ooh.
Who else? Who else was I? Oh, Jay-Z. And my brother was putting me onto all the old heads, so it was like, Rakim, the Beastie Boys, Run DMC, DJ Kool Herc, like, so, and what's my guy with the, what's his name he got the Back in the Day song?
Don't give me the
I can't remember his name, but yeah, like, so.
Well, definitely some icons.
I was versed, but I wasn't versed. And then when I got to high school, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, because by that time, Lute and all them had came out, and Nelly, and it was just like, bruh, it was just steamrolling from there.
That's fire. That's fire.
When I was tapped in with Nas and the Jay-Z and Nas.
Illmatic and all that, like.
Max B and like it just started steamrolling once I got to high school and started, kicking it with more people.
Your ear palette and all that just expanded.
Started expanding.
Just took off. Man, that's fire. So, fast forward to you making your first mixtape. How old were you when you made that joint?
I was not even 18, or maybe I just turned 8, between 18 and 19. Okay. When I did West 1996 Part 1.
That's crazy. Yeah. So take me back. So okay. I want to know to the nitty gritty, where were you working? What was you doing? What were you in school? Paint that picture for us.
So the timeline of that, I had just got out of school. Okay. Well, I got kicked out of school. So it was after 2000, it was after 07. And then me and my homie started hanging out a lot more in 2009. 2009 was just prime for the era. Oh wow. 2009, 2010 was just prime. So in 2011, when I was putting this tape together, it was of that time. Cause those were crazy times in my teens. So I was just going off of things that I saw and situations that I had been in or whatever. And I had no idea what impact that mixtape was gonna do because we were living in it. You know what I'm saying? We was just having fun, and it wasn't even a real. I had no intentions. I had no career I wasn't really thinking about making like being an artist or nothing like that. And as far as working, I think at that time I was working at Harris Teeter.
Oh wow.
During that time, like 2009, 2010, I was at Harris Teeter.
Wow.
But yeah. But by the time the mixtape dropped, I was working at Walmart.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you was working, you was going to work.
Yeah.
You come home.
Going home.
Right.
Chilling with the homies, writing. My daughter's, I stayed with my daughter's mom at the time, so it was just and then hanging out with my friends, and that was it. That's crazy. It was just work and come home and chill with the homies.
It was just a dream.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, bro, it wasn't even a dream at the time. It was just a thing to do.
You got big on an accident?
I won't say it's an accident, but I will tell you like I wasn't the front man.
Got it.
I was in a group. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't the front man.
Oh, so you had like it was like a whole little unit.
Yeah, I was with our group at the time was Forever FC.
There it is.
And so for me, I was just, I felt like I wasn't the front man. I just felt like I was there doing things with the homies. Yeah. And, that's what we connected on. So I didn't have no, it wasn't like, yo, I'm dying to be a rapper. But I had been rapping since middle school. Right. But my first rap group that I was in was I'm drawing a blank right now. But Teen Stars, like that was just our thing. Yeah. It was just me and my two homies. This is middle school. Mm-hmm. And then me and those homies met some other homies and we just combined. And
I love it. So that's like that whole, dynamic of just going with the flow, right? Mm-hmm. Like we call that I call that like downstream because you're just going through the whole creative process of making these songs and collaborating with your homies with no intentions. Mm-hmm. But within that freedom allows you the freedom and the opportunity to be great. Yeah. With no pressure and all of that. So
but in that I had no idea what I was becoming. Yeah. I had no idea, to be honest with you, I had no idea what I actually had. Wow. Because my mindset after I got kicked out of high school was that I wasn't worthy. Mm-hmm. Or I felt like I wasn't doing enough or there was more that I should be doing. Right. So my confidence in that time frame was just not me being anything. Like I just didn't feel like
you didn't feel like you deserved nothing.
Yeah, right? Like my mom, to be honest with you, my mom didn't even know that I was rapping until the cameras came to the door of them wanting to do the documentary of how I got signed. And my mom was sitting there like, what the hell the cameras doing here? I'm like, well, I got signed, mama. She's like, signed to who? What you talking about? So yeah, like
I love it.
And to be honest, some of that carried on into my career as well, like as far as the confidence, but yeah, in that time frame, bro, I was just doing it with the homies. I just wasn't. I had no like, I'm about to do this and get my mixtape to this part. Because a lot of people ask me like, yo, can you give me some advice on how you got on? And it's like, bro, I'm still trying to figure out how I got there, bro. I don't even know how I got here. I'm still trying to figure that out. Yeah. But I'm thankful and I'm blessed that things happen the way that they happen. And that's why every day I'm trying to just be better than the person I was yesterday and try to make sure that I'm setting the right example, even being as vulnerable as I can be to show that, one, I'm human, and two, like, if you got a dream or if you do have something that you striving for, it's possible. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's a big responsibility for me that, even though it wasn't like my target thing to do, but the fact that it did happen for me, and the way that it happened for me, I have some type of obligation to at least help others and get them to wherever they're trying to get to.
Right. And I think that's so important in understanding your purpose. And it's much bigger than, just the self-purpose and our impact on the community at large,
Mm-hmm.
And
way bigger than me.
No, that's beautiful, bro. So like, when you think about, the impact you had on all of your peers in your circle at that time, your family and friends with your music, starting to get some of a taste of success, and then you got an opportunity to sign with Dreamville. How what happened with that? Like how did that go? Cause that's like a dream. Like the way you got signed
it was
like
crazy, bro.
I want to hear this.
Like, I would wake up sometimes. I would wake up and I would sit up and I'd be like, bruh, did that just happen? Is it for real? Cause I be having I would have dreams and it's like, you know how you have a good dream and you chilling and all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, fuck, that was a dream. Damn, I was rolling in mad bread. I was like, I was doing so I would wake up like not in a panic, but I would wake up like, oh shit.
Wow.
Like, is that was that real? I'll check my phone, everything the way that it's, supposed to be. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Wow. It was a time, bruh, and this is me being honest, it was time where I was like, why is this happening for me?
Yeah.
Like, why me out of all people? Out of all the things that I've been through, out of all the decisions that I've made up until this point, why is this all of a sudden happening to me at this moment? Like, what did I do to deserve the things that's happening? Because it was happening fast, bro.
Right.
It was happening so fast. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck, bro? This is crazy. But over time, I had to learn that instead of asking why, I had to realize it was me because it was, and so it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Even the way that Cole reached out, like.
Yeah. How did he reach out?
On Twitter at the time, had to be following somebody. In order to DM them, I wasn't following Cole. Cole saw the recent person that I was talking to on Twitter that was following him.
Wow.
So he reached out to my friend because my friend was following him, told him, hey, yo, your boy Lute, music fire. Tell him to holler at me.
Yeah.
While I'm at Walmart, my friend, who also liked to joke around, was like, yo. And mind you, I had just heard of Cole because we had went to a Jay-Z concert and Cole opened up for Jay-Z.
Crazy.
And so in the crowd, it was two, I'll never forget this, it was two older dudes in the crowd. And they were, as Cole was coming out performing, he was like, yo, that's that cat from Fayetteville. And me and my homie looked like, Fayetteville? Fayetteville what? Because the concert was in Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
So we like, yo, Fayetteville what? And he like, Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we like, what? A cat made it out of North Carolina?
Right.
So we looking at each other like, yo, if a cat can make it out of Fayetteville, and mind you, this is one of my homies that's in the group. I'm like, yo, if a cat can make it out of Fayetteville, we for sure can make it out of Charlotte. So at that time, I had just found out about Cole and the fact that he was from Fayetteville.
Right.
So my homie, he was like, yo, I know you might think this crazy, but Cole hit me and said he liked your music. You need to follow him right now. And
I know that feeling was crazy.
No, I didn't believe him. Because again, this is my homie that joke a lot. So I'm like, bro, stop playing on my phone. And also, I had just got two write-ups a couple of days before for being in my phone. So he blowing my phone up. So I'm like, yo, bro, chill. Like, cause
Walmart tripping
right now. Right now, bro.
Yeah.
Chill out. But he's still hitting me. So I'm like, all right, on my lunch break, I'm gonna see what this man talking about. So on my lunch break, I follow Cole back. And as soon as I follow Cole back, like literally within minutes of me following him back, he hit me back. And, and for a second, I was like, oh, shit. Bro wasn't playing.
And see, that's the golden era of social media. Like, where you could actually communicate with these people.
Funny enough, when he followed me back and I'm on my lunch break, I'm sitting there looking at the phone like, oh, shit. I'm 15 minutes late from my lunch break. Because I'm still looking at this.
Yeah. What did he say?
He was saying that he was like, "Yo, bro," and then along the lines, I reached out to your boy. Yeah, I really fuck with your music. We at the Fillmore in Charlotte. Yeah. We're gonna be there for CRAA. We would love for you to. I love for you to pull up so I can tell you how I found your music. Basically, the gist of the conversation,
right?
Or to give him and to also give him a call or whatever. So I'm looking at this shit, bro. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? So it took me a while to respond.
Yeah.
15 minutes late. So I go back to the cash register. My boss like, yo, bruh. Like, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you on your phone, you're late. What happened? So all I did was show him the message from Cole.
Yeah.
And he's like, take another 15. And I was like, word? And so in that 15... You know, I responded or whatever, but literally I was 15 minutes late. Wow. I showed my boss the message, and my boss is like, yo, take another 15, handle that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's how I met Cole. A lot of people think that's how I got signed, but that was my first time.
So that was the initial.
Yeah, that was the first time I met Cole. I didn't get signed till years later. And even at the time that to be honest, I think like Cole just really wanted to help me with the things that I had going on. Initially, I don't even think that because we weren't even talking about signing or anything. It was just like it was like a friendship, you know. And to be honest, he was just giving me a lot of pointers. That's what I'm saying, on how to do my music and what I need to do next and how I need to do it. And then eventually, you know, a deal was on the table, and I was very thankful for that shit. Yeah. Because he knew my situation with like my daughter and like how I just freshly had a kid. At the time that I did get signed, I had just got fired from Target, and so that was a whole thing. So he really helped me out at the time. Really set me up to put myself in a position to be to be something. You know.
It's funny because like, so you say you got kicked out of school.
Yeah, I got kicked out of school.
Got kicked out of Target.
Yeah.
Almost got fired at Walmart. Right?
I got fired from Walmart.
You got fired from Walmart. Yo, like, the corporate life for us creatives is rough, dog.
Yeah, it is, man. and you know why, bro? Because we cancers, bro.
Yeah, we are.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we have our own way of doing things. And again, I feel like you have that same mentality too, where it's like, yo, if my mind set on something, bro, that's where I'm going. And ain't nobody else going, like, down to the point where my mom was literally trying to get me to go back to school. Yeah. And for me, it was just like, yo, it don't line up for me right now. Right. And we was battling that. You know? Yeah. So
that's a fact, man. And like I remember getting fired at my first job and all that mess too, man. And the one job I had that lasted like 10 years, I worked at Starbucks. And so I was doing music. Yeah, so I worked at like almost every Starbucks in Charlotte.
That's
and then
crazy, bro.
I moved to New York and worked at Starbucks up there in Manhattan. That was rough. I was like, you know what? I think it's time to...
Starbucks in New York, that's gotta be different, bro.
It was hell, dog.
That's gotta be different.
Be up there, like, I used to walk to the store like 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, it was nuts. But, you know, I had a vision and had a dream. And, you know, I had a team up there. And, you know, it was... I had to do what I had to do. You know what I mean? So
wait, but you moved to New York, though, right?
I did.
You had moved to New York. But I know you was working there, and I know that shit was probably hell. But I know them 4 o'clock in the morning walks or 5 o'clock in the morning walks was like, yo, I'm in New York, though. Yeah. Like, you know, you probably had the moments where it's like, yo, I'm pursuing, like, because I kind of feel like that's how I felt before, not to skip around, but before I made Goldmouth, I had moved to LA. A lot of people didn't know that I had moved out there because I ain't tell nobody. I was just going, I was, you know, went out there, but at the time I was out there, I was like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm in LA.
Yeah, LA.
Like, I'm in a place that's so foreign to me, but I'm like, I'm doing, like, I'm living out here. I'm walking the streets like I'm a local here. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy to me, bro.
That's fine.
It was crazy. I was wearing pro clubs, bro. I was out there with the pro club. Yeah. Like, you know, like I'm just out here.
Man, LA is dope. That traffic is a monster, but it's
LA
dope.
was fire, but eventually I was like, I gotta go home.
Yeah. Hey, home is where heart is, man.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta go home. I love LA for work. Right. LA, Atlanta, and New York. Oh my God.
Of course.
Work.
It's a great getaway.
I love it.
Great food.
To live.
Yeah.
I can't do nan 3 of those.
Nah.
To live, LA for me was just like it wasn't a place that I saw where I could really raise my daughter. Yeah. And there wasn't nothing wrong with LA, but it was just like I couldn't see myself raising a family out there or whatever. It just didn't felt like me.
Yeah, that makes
work wise, man, I get so much work done, or I get so many opportunities.
Right.
And initially I thought that's why I should move out there. It's like, yo, so many opportunities. Yeah. So when I did, it was just like, nah, I don't know. I think I gotta go back to the crib. Yeah. Yeah. And it was abruptly too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, like being here in Charlotte, You've had the privilege of working with a lot of different artists here and being connected. You know, we got the Siancas. You know, we got De Niro. We got we got a little bit of everybody. And I think actually what's crazy is my first time meeting or seeing you was on. I think I saw Sianca's video. New Phone. That was my first time like actually being introduced to who you are. Right?
That's crazy, yeah.
And then I saw Still Slumming, right? And I was like, okay, I know who this. This dude is dope. Yeah. And then Harvey, because you've done some stuff with Harvey too. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, it's all connected. Yeah. And then we ended up meeting or whatnot. But like, just your whole openness to being, even though you a signed artist, you're still working with. A lot of dope talent here. How's that process been in collaborating?
Oh man, I still, bro. Signed or not, bro. I still work like I'm a local artist. Cause for me, my mindset is like I still, again, it goes with my confidence or whatever. It's like I still haven't feel like I've reached certain spaces or certain spots, so I still gotta grind like everybody else. I never really had an ego about things because. For me, it was just like, what's meant for me is meant for me, and what's for somebody else was for somebody else. I don't know what that person put in for God to bless them the way that they did, because I'm still trying to figure out how I got blessed so well in certain opportunities. So that's why it's easier for me I can be over here clapping for somebody. I can be over here clapping for De Niro. I could be over here clapping for Elevator J. I could be over here clapping for 10 cell phones or... I could be over here clapping for or rooting for the home team because I know what's meant for me is for me and what's for everybody else is for everybody else. Like it's bigger than us, and we all trying to get to the same space. Yeah, and and figure out the same problem that the city been having as far as allowing us artists to be as creative and as expressive as we would like to be. Yeah. So for me, it was just like, help me, help us. Right. And vice versa for anybody else. I just feel like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And funny you said that. The first person that I hit up when I got signed was De Niro. Oh, wow. For advice.
That's dope.
Like the day I got signed, I called De Niro because De Niro had been in that position before me. And so a lot of people don't know that. Like the first person I called was De Niro. That's like, how should I handle these situations? And he gave me the best advice that he could at that time. And me and that's my dog. We do our check-ins. Yeah, bro. Hell we do our check-ins, and it's been like that ever since. And that's with any artist that I'm really close with, like an Elevator, Ghost Man. Yeah. Like I'm the same way with all of them. It's like, anything you need, I got you, and vice versa.
Right. That's dope, man. Yeah, I love that. I mean, that's always been my mission, is connecting the dots and, bringing people together. And, I love to see, my peers doing that too. You know what I mean? And just the journey of everything some of those guys have been through is just, I mean, De Niro.
Oh, bro, all our journeys are different. Yeah. But when you listen to the real core of our music, we all saying the same thing, but we all had crazy ass backgrounds, or we've all been through some crazy experiences. Yeah. And to be honest, that should be the thing that bring us closer together. And for as far as community, I used to tell my friends all the time, like, we ain't all gotta hold hands and sing kumbaya and shit, but it's just that mutual respect for everybody. That's the shit that go a long way. And you gotta let go of the ego. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's very big.
A lot of artists, it's hard for artists to let go of ego where they can't clap for somebody. And I feel like the people that I align with people that can clap for. We can all clap for one another when each other doing stuff.
I think that's the thing that Charlotte's missing. And, people talk about community all the time. And we could do a whole podcast on that alone, I'm sure. But, when you've been around the world, I've been around the world, and, you know what it feels like to be inspired in these other places. Yeah. And you can see really clearly that missing thing that those places have that we don't have.
And it ain't even outside of the world. You can go to Raleigh. Yeah. You can go to Raleigh, see the community that they got up there.
Dog,
with them.
You see that joint in Asheville.
And it's like, and not nothing on Raleigh, but it's like, we bigger. Right. We got way more talent. Yeah. Raleigh got talent too, but they gotta more niche community than we do, and we building that. Like it's coming.
Oh yeah,
and it's strong too.
Right.
But it's just like it's that mutual respect, bro. You ain't gotta like nobody. You like, but it's a mutual respect. That's it. That's what go the longest way, bro.
That's a fact, man. Well, let's switch gears. Let's go way left field. And let's talk about parenting.
Oh man,
we're gonna come back to the music.
All right,
but let's talk parenting, man. You are a full time, as we call it, a girl dad.
Yeah.
You a girl dad.
I am a girl dad.
I'm a girl dad too. Give me some tips.
Matter of fact, I just got back from a sleepover. My daughter had, cause she turned 10 Friday. Went to Great Wolf Lodge. She had a sleepover with her friends from school and some of her little cousins or whatever. Man, Great Wolf Lodge is a sensory overload, bro.
Oh my God.
It's just kids. Like imagine if Frankie's. Imagine if Frankie's, or you ever been to what's the word, Emerald Point?
Oh God.
Imagine if Frankie's or Emerald Point had hotels on top of it.
Oh no.
And it's just all kids. Great Wolf Lodge is a resort for kids, bro.
Oh my gosh. Bro.
And they in there going ham.
Good.
And then they got this wave pool, right?
Okay.
And before the wave pool start, before the big wave come, it's like an alarm that go off.
Yeah.
And when that alarm, when the alarm go off, them kids go crazy.
What?
Yeah.
How tall does the wave get?
It's a little
baby, like 3 feet.
It get up there, but it's like, it's in a little 4. I think the highest of the pool is 5 feet.
Okay.
But they get up there for them kids. But it's like, bro, they're everywhere, bro. Everywhere.
Oh man.
But it's been cool, bro. My daughter has taught me a lot of patience.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to watch her grow into herself. It's amazing to see a lot of things in me and her.
Yeah.
It's certain things I see her do, and I'm like, wow, I do that. And then on another end, I can see things with her that I struggle with now, which is like anxiety. I can see that in her as well.
Wow.
But I think because I go through anxiety and I see it in her, I can address it when she's dealing with it. I didn't have that before. Anxiety is kind of new to everybody.
Right.
So when I was going through my anxiety spells, I didn't really have people to let me know what that was or to calm me down. But I see my daughter experiencing that sometimes too, so I'm able to facilitate with that. But it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing to watch, bro.
Yeah, it is. I mean, just seeing all the, what it looks like. I mean, all the phases of, them being from 1, right, to 3 to 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy how many evolutions they have, And
I'm still learning. I'm still learning because it's I'm still learning to make the right decisions. But at the end of the day, one thing I do realize between me and my daughter that I know is that when my daughter get older, she gonna have questions.
Right.
And for me, the way that I move forward and the way that I maneuver through my life is, am I going to be able to explain this to her when she asks the question? Right. And so that's where my decision making comes into play. Yeah. If it's something that I feel like I can't explain later, that's already a red flag for me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because having my father pass and still having questions for my I had questions that I know now that I never get answers to. But the way life is set up and how life be lifing, I've been in positions now to where I understand why my dad made those decisions. So a lot of questions that I had for my dad that wasn't gonna get answered, I already got closure to because I've been through those situations.
And now you get it. And, and it's we're gonna talk about that a little bit too. And I think that as we become older, we become more wise, and we become more aware of just why people do the things that they do, especially loved ones, right? And so I mean, there's been a common string through all your songs. Like, I listen to all your records, you know what I mean? And the common topic that I see in a lot of your music is you talk about mom dukes.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about baby girl, you talk about pops, and like just seeing how important family is. And, you know, I think that's one of the that's one of the things I always said. If I was to become a rapper, which you know I'm not.
No, man, you got it, bro.
Hey, bro.
You got bars, bro.
Hey, bro.
I ain't gonna let you play yourself like that, bro.
Hey, but
you got bars. I done heard you write a lot of songs, bro.
I don't wrote some stuff, but if I was a rapper, I feel like there would be more. You know, it's more acceptable to talk about certain things, right? Like, I mean, I can sing and sing a song about moms and dads, but it's not as cool, right? Like, it just has to be written a certain kind of way.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? And so, like, just very clever. But I feel like in rap, there's a lot more of a canvas to be able to express, you know, these different types of emotions and relationships with family. When you think about your mother and your father, like, what do you think about in terms of how they impacted your music and you as a person?
Really, it's just about how I grew up. My mom, it's crazy. My mom will always give us gems. And the older I got, you know how when you're a kid, you're not really paying attention to what the grown-ups are saying when it comes to those gems. But then the older you get, those gems start popping back up in your head.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my mom told me, oh, my dad told me. My grandma told me, and then it'll start, like, just gems just start popping back up in your head. And, like, the older I got, the more I realized, like, yo, some of those gems saved my life, you know? And so I try to incorporate those gems into the music. Yeah. Or just, you know, just what I remember from those gems and from those experiences, because my mom would see things in my life a mile away. And because I got that one-track mind when I'm set to do something, I'm just focused on what I'm trying to do. And my dad gave me gems as far as being a man, and my grandma gave me gems. So it's just like, I apply those gems in my life, and then I also apply it to my music.
That's fire, man. I love it. I think that is, I think that's very valiant, man. And the fact that your parents were even in a position to do that, because so many people, especially from our generation, you know, we had the parents that worked in 9 to 5s. You know, we just went to school. School was our teachers, and so just to be able to have parents that were influencing us with wisdom and knowledge and discipline, and, you know, that's really key. And you hit on something too with, you know, with your father too, and I've been in that same position. You know, as you know, my mom passed too. And there was a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, man.
And you know, it took a long time to get to a spot where I could just get in the car and drive without crying. Yeah. And, you know, just seeing the correlation between your father, my mother, and, you know, you kind of have to create your own belief system, you know, of what may have happened or how it happened to kind of cope.
And it takes a while.
Yeah.
And I held a grudge for a long time when my dad passed, because it affected me a lot. And in spaces I could hold myself accountable, because I did kind of like teeter off with like no explanation. But in that, people knew that I was grieving. Right. But in my grieving, people would treat me a little different. And I held a grudge on that for a long time, because it's like, people that judged me never lost a parent. Yeah. And even though my dad was in my life, but my mom was more so in my life than my dad. But it's still my dad. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And I felt like people, like when it came to doing things, like people would think like, oh, he not gonna do it. Oh, he lazy. Oh, he don't be responding. And at that time, it was just like, I'm grieving. And I had already had troubles with communicating in that time because of anxiety. Right. So when my dad passed, I was really a recluse, bro. Yeah. I was really just in my, I don't even know what to call it. I call it like a cubby hole. Yeah, like a cocoon, a cubby hole. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to come out of it. And it took me a while. And I eventually did.
Well, I remember that season, and I remember very specifically, you know, like just, you know, like the therapy and just everything you were doing to just try to get back,
to get back, and it was just like I was trying everything I could, bro, good and bad.
Yeah.
You know, and by bad I just mean alcohol. Like I was drinking a lot more, but I didn't realize why I was drinking a lot more. I thought it was because of my anxiety, but again, because that's the reason why I went to my therapist. I'm like, yo. I went to my therapist, like, yo, I've been drinking a lot more than I'm used to. Or usually I just be drinking socially. Yeah. I'm like, it's getting a little bad. Like, I'm not becoming, because my dad was an alcoholic. So I'm like, yo, I'm not. She's like, no, I know alcoholics.
Right.
And I've seen. She's like, I do the AAs, I do everything.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like, you're not that.
You're not an alcoholic. She's like, what's going on is what you think is anxiety. You're not realizing that you're going through depression, and that alcohol is kind of like your crutch, where you're not realizing your limit because of the depression.
Right.
And once she said that, I was like, you're absolutely right, because it's like this at the time when I'm like, yo, this is not me. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I'm not understanding this. And so once she told me that, I got an idea. Then I eventually got another therapist, but it was just like, bro, I was trying everything.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure this out. Like, and so the more things I was trying to figure out and the more I was falling into this hole, the more of a recluse I became in my music life and in my real life. Like, I was just stepping away from everything because I just I couldn't see myself.
Wow.
You know, I couldn't see myself in anything that I was doing. So I had to take a step back, but then things like it would get good and it would get worse. You know, when it got good, then I would be losing people, and you know, I bounce back, and then I lose people again, I bounce back, or something happened, bounce back, and it was just like it was like a seesaw of stuff. So it was just better for me to just stay out the way than be front facing, go through something, have to draw back, be back in front, draw back. I would just rather just play the back. Right. That was just my logic.
Yeah, and just,
you know.
Yeah.
I just rather just stay out the way in general.
Well, I mean, it's bro, like it's so hard for people to understand that, you know, have not been in this situation. And I always tell people, like, you know, first of all, when I meet people that they've got a parent that just passed or transitioned, I always tell them, I'm like, look, go through whatever you need to go through and grieve, because the thing about it is we're not taught that in school at all. We're not taught how to process the emotions and the guilt, the pain, the shame, all of that. Like, there's so many different levels and layers. And on top of that, you know, when we think of somebody transitioning, most people are just thinking about like the fact that person transitioned. But you got to understand that how they transition, right, could be negatively impacting the person as well, right? And like, I'm not even going to my whole situation, but because it's a lot. I understand that. You know what I mean?
I understand that, bro.
And so many people, they're oblivious to like, oh man, your people, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but no, like,
it's beyond that, man. Yeah. It's like, and again, like because soon after my dad passed in October, my grandma passed in January.
Wow.
So it was like, you know what I mean? That's all good, because, you know, life happens.
It does.
But it was tough on me. And it was just the way people were treating me in that time. I held a grudge for that for a long time, bruh. But I had to let a lot of stuff go in the grieving. And I let all that stuff go because, again, even though I was upset the way people were treating me, I also wasn't communicating enough of how I was feeling in the way people were treating me. So there was no grudge.
Well, it's hard to do that, though.
It is,
bro.
It is, but so eventually I had to realize, and this is, bro, it was a lot of things that I was recognizing within myself outside of therapy. Even when I went to therapy, she was like, "Oh, it was so crazy," because she was like, "Oh, you're already like aware of a lot of things that a lot of people come to me they're not aware of." So she was like, "The fact that you even came in here and wanted to address the fact that you might have thought that you was becoming an alcoholic with the you know amount that you was drinking at the time."
Yeah.
The fact that you even had that awareness, she's like, alcoholics don't have that awareness. So she's like, no, I already knew off gate that that's what wasn't what was going on. Yeah. She was like, let me do a test on you as far as for depression. And we did the test, and she was like, yeah, like that's just all that it is. And these are things that you can help cope with those things.
Wow.
Then my next therapist was kind of helping me with communication. And, because not only did I fall off with communicating with, like, people in my life, my social media presence was just non-existent. Bro, I don't know, even to this day, it's hard for me to reply back.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to comment no more. I don't even know how to make a tweet.
Wow.
Like, that's how messed up I had got, like, as far as, like, my mind, with my anxiety and bro, I don't even know how to make a tweet now. I don't even know how to make comments, which is why, like, it's not a lot of engagement.
Right.
Like I would like for it to be, but that's because it's just me. Like, it was like a barrier almost. Like, it would be times where I want to say something, I want to do something, but it was a barrier. Like, it's like my body just physically wouldn't allow me. So at a point in time, I had to have my homie or a couple of my team to help post for me when it came to promoting things. Yeah. When it came to promoting stuff, bro, like I couldn't send it out.
It's a lot.
I would be stuck there for hours trying to figure out what to say. Wow. I would be stuck there for hours trying to.
Was it more of thinking about like how they want to respond, or more of?
Bro, it was everything. How would people respond? How am I gonna word this? Like, in me wording this, does it sound like me? Because again, at the time, I don't know what me looks like in this space. So it was hard to figure that. It was hard, bro.
So it was almost like identity with that too. Like just trying to.
And when I say identity, it was just like so many things have happened in my life at this point, from GD to now with the album. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I want for myself in this moment. I don't even know what this space is. You ever watch cartoons and sometimes they go into that white space? Yeah. That's where I was. Wow. I was just in a space. Gee. Can't see up, don't know up from down, nothing. I was just in this white space, just trying to figure out where the fuck is the ground so I can kind of get back to myself. Wow. And, it took a while to get there, but I found it.
Man. Let's switch gears a little bit, right?
Okay.
Back to this music, man, because you've been dropping heat. When you drop that joint, Under the Sun, I remember. Hold on. First of all, I gotta go back. So actually, when I first heard this song, I saw the video, I think, and it was on YouTube. I had pulled it up because you get the little notification. It was like, Baby, Lute, and J. Cole. I said, what in the world, man? And it came to your verse. Bruh, you killed that joint, dog.
I appreciate you, man. It's a funny story about that, bruh. I was I was trying to redo that verse.
Come on.
Bruh, yeah, I was trying to redo that verse, but my manager, Pooh, at the time, had already sent it back. He had already sent it out. And even he was like, it's too late, bro. I done sent it already. I done already sent it. And two, you tripping. Why would you want to redo that verse? Yeah. And I was like, I don't think it was hard enough, bro. Like, I just something in me just and for a second, I was like, man, I just want to redo that verse so
Come on,
bad.
man,
But I had to live with it because it had already been sent out.
Yeah.
And initially, I didn't, when I got the track for Under the Sun, I didn't know if I wanted to do it or not. And not to say,
What?
I was just like, because at the time, the baby wasn't on it.
Okay.
When I got the song, it was just Cole.
Okay. So he just had one verse on it?
Yeah, it was just
And a
Cole's
hook?
verse. It was
No hook.
No hook. It was no the baby. It was just Cole and the beat.
Okay.
And at the time, I'm just like, I don't know if this is a song that because I always imagined myself doing a song with Cole, and I'm like, I don't know if this was, because I didn't feel like the beat was me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't feel like the beat was like something that I could grasp. Like when I initially heard, and not saying that it's a bad beat,
Right.
but it was just like, it took me out of my element. But then I had to sit with it because also, Eve, the president of Dreamville, he was hitting me like, yo, I need the verse back ASAP because we trying to
Wait,
get it out.
so this wasn't one of the ones that y'all cooked up during the documentary?
No, I didn't record it in Atlanta, but it was right after we left.
Okay.
When everybody went home, and I'm assuming that they was going through the songs, and there was certain songs that they were like, yo, we gonna add this or whatever.
Got it.
So as soon as I got back to the crib, he sent that snippet.
version.
It was just Cole and the beat. And I sat with it for like 2 days, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. I'm gonna have to hit E back and be like, I don't know if I can do it. But before I did that, I kind of sat with myself.
Okay.
I had these moments where I sit with myself and weigh out the pros and cons. And for a second, I had a moment with myself, like, who am I to say what's me or what's not me? Don't nobody know me. And if this is an opportunity for people to get to know me, then this will be a nice opportunity for me. Yeah. So I kind of shifted my focus on that. So I hit up Pearl at Pearl's, and I went to Pearl's to record it. Yep. And after I recorded, I was like, I don't know if I like that. But I sent it to Pooh anyway. I sent it to Pooh just for him to hear it.
Right. What did he think?
He sent it.
Immediately?
Yeah, he wow. I sent it for him to listen to it, to give me feedback. But he
like, this is gone.
He just sent it all.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, oh man. But then I was like, you know what? It's all good. I'm just gonna have to let it rock.
Okay.
Then they threw a Revenge of the Dreamers party in New York. So
you ain't heard it before that?
No. After I sent it out, it was good. But that's what I'm about to get to. We go to New York for the party. The album not out yet. Okay. They just throwing a party for the release of because it was released on the 4th. Okay. And I think this was like around the 3rd or maybe the 2nd of July. I can't remember. Okay. They threw this big party in New York, and at the airport or maybe going to the party, I'm in the car with Ebe, and he was like, "Yo, the baby just got on it. I'm about to play it for you." Then he played it.
I love this.
He played it. And I'm like, oh man, this crazy. Like, me, Cole, the baby, and I for a second I kind of sunk a little bit. You would think like you go, drama, but I'm like, man, I know everybody gonna be like, man, who's this nigga in the middle? Like what? Like in a bad way. But then the song comes out. Yeah. Had no idea that the hook had Kendrick on, like Kendrick's on.
I was
the hook.
gonna get to that.
Yeah, so that just came.
So the version you heard with the baby, did it have Kendrick?
No, it didn't have Kendrick on it.
So they just keep throwing.
Yeah, so every time I heard it, it was something new every time. That's crazy. And so by the time it came out, and then I realized where it was on the album. Yeah. I'm like, yo, it's number 1. It's the first song on the album. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, as soon as you play this song, you gonna hear my voice. Yeah, that. And it was blowing me away, and you know the team was congratulating me for having the because at the time, bro, I'm just oblivious to shit. You know, the first song on the on albums is important because you know that is the first song that people listen to. Right. And so you know they was congratulating me on that, and I was just like, yo, wow, I can't believe that. But then I started seeing the feedback. Yeah. And I'm like, yo. In my mind, I'm like, yo, niggas really think I got one of the best verses? I'm like, yo, it's crazy because in my opinion, I think the baby killed the shit. Not saying that Cole didn't kill it. Cole killed it too, but I'm like, yo, the baby, like, because that was the first time I really heard the baby, like, really, like,
Yeah.
Spit. So I'm just like, yo, damn, that nigga killed that shit. And so, but when I saw the feedback where niggas was like, oh, this nigga runner up for,
Yeah.
best verse, I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Nah,
like,
bro. Hey.
Ain't no way in hell.
Hey,
but then
bro,
I was
you
like,
got
yo,
the best
that's wild. I'm thankful to even be on this track with these two niggas because it's like, yo, they legends in their own right. And I'm like, yo, and here I am in the middle.
But then you throw Kendrick on there, it's just like, it's like a, chef's kiss on that joint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's that whole project, that honestly, that song, it made me want to go listen to the whole thing. And that's like actually one of my favorite joints. And that joint went platinum.
It did. I got a plaque for that. And that was probably even more surreal. And then and when I got the plaque, the plaque did two things for me. It helped me solidify my confidence a little bit because now I feel worthy. Because remember I told you when I got kicked out of school, I didn't feel, my confidence was kind of shot because I didn't feel worthy of things that I was doing because I never got my diploma. So when I got the plaque, that was the first thing with my name on it that said I accomplished something.
That's big.
So it built my confidence up.
Yeah.
And then the second half was like, man, I would have been kicking myself had I not did that verse.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
like,
my God.
And I would have been kicking myself had I really text Eve like I don't know if I could do the track.
What would have hurt worse is if somebody else had got on it.
Yeah, and that too. But it was because somebody else would have definitely got on it because just the way that Revenge of the Dreamers was at the time, even in the process of it, like there was no, I'm gonna lay down 4 bars and I'm gonna come back to it. Like, nah, if you don't finish your verse right here, bro, somebody else getting on that. Or somebody taking that spot. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like, at times it was like the way it was set up, so it's like 6 niggas on a song. Yeah. And in certain forms where it's like, bro, 6 niggas ain't gonna be on this song. So they gonna pick the best verse out of these 6 niggas. Yeah. So no matter what, you had to go in those rooms with your best, bro.
So even being the tight-knit family y'all are as Dreamville, it's still like
it's still competition regardless of what you doing. So you always wanna go in there doing your best. And as far as Dreamville and the family, it's definitely it's competitive, but it's like what's the word I'm looking for?
It's still a community.
It's friendly competition. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like friendly competition. Like we just, iron sharp, whatever that.
Yeah, iron sharp as iron.
Yeah,
I get you.
So you know what I'm saying? But in that Revenge of the Dreamers camp, it was every man for themselves. It was that iron sharpen iron thing, that was true, but like
that weekend it was out the window.
It was like every man for themselves because again, you had potential to not be on that song, or you had potential to not be on any song.
Wow.
Like, cause I'm a recluse, you know what I'm saying? I'm a shell, I'm an introvert, so I appreciate Revenge of the Dreamers camp because it got me out of my shell. I had to go in there. I had to talk to people. I had to network. I had to I couldn't be too shy to get in there and because usually when people in a room and they getting on the mic, I'm just watching. But it's like, nigga, the more I watch, the more you're not gonna be on this album, bro. So, and that was another thing when we were shooting that, like, even though I did my rounds, I'm like, yo, the rounds I did, I don't know if I placed. Like, I literally had thoughts of like, I don't know if I placed on this album. Wow. And eventually, I ended up getting 4 placements. Okay. Cause I did Revenge. I did Revenge, Sleep Deprived, Under the Sun, and Still Dreaming.
Crazy too.
Yeah. So I was able to get 4 placements, but at the time, I'm like, man, this is gonna be really embarrassing if Dreamville put out a fucking compilation album and I'm not on that shit. Yeah. I'm like, yo, niggas at home gonna fry me, bro. Oh yeah. They gonna fry me up. And that was my whole, like, bro, I was not panicking, but I was nervous about that shit. Like, did I place? Man. And mind you, I was doing like, man, it was people in there like Jen and them, bro. They was busting out like 10 songs a day, bro. And it was a time where I did 10 songs, but it wasn't damn sure wasn't 10 songs a day. Yeah. It might have been 10 songs at one time at a point in time.
Like a
but
week
it was
or
like,
two.
But like, it was like I was in there just doing 3 songs, and I'm like, yo, I don't know if it's enough because them niggas was in there killing that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I mean, some people got it like that. Like, just go in.
Like Mez, King Mez.
How
It was
the
even-
Boz do? He was straight too.
Oh yeah, Boss was in there. Like everybody was killing it, but everybody was trying to find the rooms where they lane, because the rooms were set up so like you got niggas doing hip hop.
Yeah.
You got niggas that's
You got
on that
Ari
Atlanta
over
shit.
here.
You got Ari and her
Yeah.
R&B girls over here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
but every day the room would switch because, you know, again, it's every man for themselves. So first come, first serve. So you get in there, you set up, and it was like, imagine how your studio set up, and you got niggas in the hallway with studio setups.
Hey, bro.
Everybody
We need to bring
get-
that to
Bro,
Charlotte, dog.
Look,
Tell Cole to bring it to Grindhouse.
niggas be
dog.
knocking their heads off. And then on top of that, I think the ambiance in that was the fact that it was an invitation.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
each day you look at and it's new niggas getting invitations. So it's like,
so this is bigger than just Dreamville.
oh, bro, yeah. That's what made it more like, oh shit, I don't
So
know.
now you can compete.
Bro,
with,
you competing with other artists and you competing with other like niggas that's actually in the game.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's
it
dope.
was just like,
That's dope. I love it.
I love it now, but at the time it was very nerve wracking.
Oh yeah.
Because it was just like, yo. And we didn't know that shit until we got there. So we
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, okay, we about to do this album. We all about to be in the
Yeah.
studio together.
You
with
thought
this
it was about to be
album.
lovey-dovey,
it's
like,
we all
just
about to,
cook.
we in the shuttle together like, yeah, bro, we about to go ahead. Me and Kaz in the back drinking. We drinking tequila. Them doors open up and it's already mad niggas in there. So I'm like, oh shit. What the fuck did I just
Feel
walk
like I got
into?
the wrong
I got
memo.
the wrong idea, bro.
Oh
but
man.
that made it better.
Yeah.
That made it better because it was a time where it was a battle. Like, it'd be days where I go back to because we had an Airbnb and
Okay.
I feel defeated because I'm like, damn, I didn't get a song in the day, bruh. So that made me go hard the next day. Like, the next day, it's like, yo, I gotta do at least 3 songs.
You was locked in.
I would go and it'd be a day where, like, yo, I'm prepared to work, but nothing coming out.
Wow.
And I'm like, fuck, like I just felt so defeated. But then each day, like when I had those days, I come back the next day 10
hungry.
times stronger, yeah.
Ooh.
Then by the end of it, it's like, I don't give a fuck who in this room.
Yeah.
If I got, I'm going like, because in the beginning, I'm just like, oh man, I would avoid certain rooms.
Right.
But by the end of it, it's like, I don't give a fuck what room I'm in. I'm just ready for the vibes. But I met so many people in that.
Wow.
I met so many people. I met so many friends. So many people that I see to this day. Now that when I see them at big events or like Dreamville Fest or at other festivals, it's like, yo, what up, bro? How you been? Because, you know, it ain't like I talk to people like every day, but when I do see certain people, it's like, yo, you know, we still have that same connection that we did when we was at Revenge of the Dreamers, because we all knew how hectic that shit was.
Man, and I know the conversations and ideas that flow, just being around the same people.
Oh, it was so
every day.
inspiring, bro. Like
Yeah.
that taught me even how to lay songs. I saw certain people's like how they layer songs or how they do songs.
Yeah,
like,
their format and their arrangements and all
watching Mez rap, where he would freestyle 4 bars. It was like a point where like he would freestyle, and then sometimes when he would freestyle 4 bars,
that. Yeah.
walk away, gather himself, go in there, spit another 4 bars. I'm like, yo, I never thought of that concept. What the fuck?
Because your thing was always go, go, go.
Yeah, it was always like, yo, I'm about to do the whole thing, I'm about to write. But he wasn't writing shit down. He was going to freestyle 4 bars, walk away, come back, got another 4 bars, like almost like a punch in.
Yeah.
But it was a freestyle punch in, like you're not reading nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
makes
I'm
sense,
like, no,
yeah.
I never thought of that concept at that time.
And
know
to give
what
you
I'm
time to kind of like make sure you're coming up with something
Yeah.
intentional and you know you're not just
Best
the first
believe I
thing.
started using that shit
Yeah.
every now
I
and then when I
believe it.
couldn't. It would help me when I couldn't come up with shit, like when I would have writer's block writing, because I'm a writer. I like to write.
Yeah.
But when I got writer's block, I'll freestyle some shit.
Yeah.
And, do my voice notes. I'll freestyle some shit, or I'll record something where I'm just freestyling. For every 4 bars, I'll say something, come back. It was a lot of shit that I learned that I took away from other artists that I saw them working, and I was like, yo, and it helped me better as an artist and a writer because I see so many concepts now, like
Absolutely.
and it's not just go straight
you
in
know,
there.
and I could tell you applied it. You know, I want to go back real quick. You remember when we had I came over to your apartment at the time, and this is like before ROTD. This is before all of that, right?
Yeah.
And you know, you had baby girl sleep on in the living room. She fell asleep watching the movie.
Yeah.
I had came over, and you know, it was really our first introduction. And so you played me some stuff, and you know, I wasn't I was kind of naive to even all the successes you already had. I knew you were signed to Dreamville, but I didn't really know, like, you know, all of this and know you musically.
Right.
And so I played you some stuff, and then you played me some stuff. But then, you know, one of the things you kept talking about was like, man, I want to write more songs with hooks. You know, I want to be more intentional with my courses. Like, I feel like all I do is just get on the beat and I just go, right? Like, that was your thing. It was like, I want to get out of that. And you hit me with another thing. You was like, I want to sing more. You played me this one joint. It was like a guitar joint, and it was just like a phone memo, right? It wasn't that crazy.
Yeah, I definitely remember.
And you played it, and it was like you was humming the joint. So I was like, oh yeah, like you was asking for my permission, like kind of in a sense, like, should I do this? Do you think I had? I was like, bro, like,
because I had heard your music, and I'm like, yo, this nigga's fire. This nigga can sing.
Oh man.
And then, but I heard I heard the songs that you wrote, and so I'm like, oh, this nigga's. I'm like, yo, I gotta tap in because I need help writing hooks. And that's the thing with me, bruh. I can be transparent where I need help in my music because I want to be better.
Right.
And once I realized that, I'm like, yo, I got to be around somebody that can help me. And the thing that you helped me do was kind of trust my voice a lot. When we was at the crib. We was at your crib. Working on music. You was getting me to trust my voice more and also trusting myself to sing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of time I didn't have that confidence where I felt like I could sing. Because sometimes I try to have you do it. You be like, nah, man, you can go in there. you go in there and do it. You got it. And so, yeah, bruh.
And it's really hard, man, because a lot of times as creators, it's easy to fall into this mindset of it being radio ready off the rip. But if you've never really done the thing, you've got to go through the growing pains.
Yeah, now you do.
Just do it.
I think people don't understand that when it comes to music and writing music and recording, it's the same thing as doing a sport.
Yeah.
You have to keep at it. And you have to keep training yourself, and you have to keep, and you got to go in, because you go into them trainings and them workouts, bro, you going to throw up. Bro. You going to be tired. But you got to do it because it's building you. It's building something.
And you got to remember, like 2 weeks ago, I pulled up, I got this big old box, and this box has all my mom's stuff in it, but there was a big bag of like CDs, you know, back in the day, like when I used to burn my CDs of my old songs. Man, I pulled one of the things in the car, and I was like, I about cried because I was listening to it, but I was just like, damn, this shit is trash. It's trash, but there was so much like passion and just like, you know, just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Just trying to figure it out. And so here you are, right, making Goldmouth. When I listened to Goldmouth for the first time, the first record, I said, he did it. He did everything that he said he was gonna do back at the house that day. And you impressed me with it, man, because you did some things on here that you've never done, bro. Like we talked about the singing thing. You did it in the album.
I did.
We talk about incorporating different types of creatives on the project. You had BJ Chicago Kid on here. You had so many different features that made sense musically. You even had some choir parts there. Even like on the first record, like you had never explored that. And so you tapping into that higher level. Like, what was the transition from, you know, West Part 2 to that? Like, what did you have to do to get in alignment with how you did Goldmouth? Because that was like night and day.
I had to do a couple things. So in making Goldmouth, I moved to LA. The day I moved to LA, the pandemic, that was the first day that LA went on lockdown.
Wow.
So during the pandemic, when everything shut down, even music, everything that I was running from finally caught up with me. Wow. So I had to allow things to catch up with me, and I had to be accountable, and I had to be vulnerable. And it's funny because the first month that I was in LA, I was struggling with creating the album. I didn't know what to talk about.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to feel, nothing. It was just blank. And shout out to Black Soul. Black Soul was there. It wouldn't be a West 1990. It wouldn't be a Goldmouth without the pandemic and my dog Black Soul, and a lot of the musicians that helped curate Goldmouth. But for that first month, bro, I was really struggling with making the album. But the moment I became vulnerable, the more that shit starting to, like, song titles starting to come up.
Yeah.
And feeling was starting to come back. So with Goldmouth, I had to be vulnerable because that was the first time I recognized my anxiety. That was the first time I stood face to face with what anxiety was.
Wow.
And I tried to address it myself.
Right.
This was before I was the drinking and all that stuff and depression or whatever. But this was my first time.
But trying to address it through music.
Through music, through myself, but through what I'm learning during the pandemic by just, I'm in a space now where it's just me.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? There's no outside, nothing. It's just me, and I'm facing me in this moment, and that's what Goldmouth was. Wow. And the crazy thing was, which is why I set up the way it was. By the end of it all, I started to love what I saw in myself. So Goldmouth is basically a timeline of me discovering things within myself and discovering myself. In the beginning, it being me being very vulnerable, but like not being able to see myself and the lack of confidence. By the end of it, I'm loving who I see and the transitions that I've made to become the person that I am. So it's like a transition, basically what Goldmouth is. But in order to do that, I had to see myself, and I had to tap in and sit with myself for a while.
Yo, that's deep.
And I did the whole time I was in that. The whole time I was in LA, I was making Goldmouth.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like the thing I loved about Goldmouth, you know, besides the growth of you as an artist, was the production, right? Production value was crazy.
And it was live.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was live. Like it was live. Yeah. Most of Goldmouth was live instruments. GD, all live instruments. That's not a sample.
And you could hear it, and you could hear the, you know, just the quality, right? Like you go listen to West and then go listen to Goldmouth. It's like, okay, he grew up.
Right. but I the fact that you say that makes me happy because each time I do a project, I want it to be a level of growth in there somehow and something different. And when you do listen to all three projects, it's like in the beginning, it's like my adolescence. Like this was just my teens. We wild and we in the middle is me becoming a father, and then Goldmouth is me seeing myself as a human being,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? As a man.
Yeah.
And so I just love the, you know, I wish I had more projects, but the projects that I do have, I was growing with everybody else that was seeing me. You know what I'm saying? I was growing with my fans. I was growing with my friends. I was growing with it. Like, so what you see and what you hear in the album is just, it's me growing with everybody.
That's beautiful, you know? And that's transparent. You know, and I think that's what makes your music so amazing is the fact that it's transparent and people can resonate with that. Like you're a real dude. You know what I mean? Like, and that's dope.
I try to be real to myself. And I guess it comes out in my music. You know what I mean? It's just me just trying to be transparent and trying to be as real to myself as I can, you know, so that I can help and be where I'm needed.
That's dope, man. Well, before we wrap this thing up, I got a couple more questions and then we're gonna go. So, who's some of your go-to producers that you love working with?
So Jay Smash is one of my producers that I like going. He's also he like does a lot of engineering for me.
That's dope.
So Jay Smash, my boy Mix MP, he did GD for me. Countless a lot of other things.
Real quick, did Alex do that video? Who did
GD?
Yeah.
No. So it was what was the name of them cats, man? We had a great time shooting GD, bro.
Or was it Dareeman?
No, it wasn't Dareeman. It was I shot GD in LA.
Oh, okay.
And they're called Gorilla. Man, I can't remember. But yeah, some cats in LA shot it.
Yeah.
And man, we had a really good time shooting that. And they were really cool peoples. And yeah. And we shot, I think we did GD. It was from 7 in the morning to 3 in the morning. We shot GD. From the morning to night.
That's a long day.
It was a long day, bro. And the thing was, because we was in LA, where we shot GD was one location and it was maybe like 2 hours away from LA. Yeah, so we was like in a valley somewhere. I can't remember, on a mountain.
Nah, that's fire.
And the horse ran off with me.
What?
At one point, yeah, because I don't know how to ride no horse, bro. And she just like, the lady just let the the reins go, and that thing tried to take off with me, bro.
Oh, well, you about to shit your pants.
So I'm like, oh, man.
Man, so, you know, you've done so much stuff, man, musically. I know you got some more music in the tank. I know are you getting back on the road, too?
I just got off the road. Well, I ain't gonna say just got off the road, but I did go on tour with IDK.
Okay.
Last October.
Okay.
I do plan on going back on the road, but probably not how people think about going back on the road. So with Goldmouth Garage, I'm trying to take that to other places, like a LA.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Goldmouth Garage. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So Goldmouth Garage it basically it started 2 years ago.
Okay.
Dreamville allowed us to do a car show and a talent installment where we get some cars together.
Yeah.
We was trying to make it free for everybody and have everybody leave with some type of experience.
Yeah.
As they're experiencing Dreamville Fest, and for people who might not go to Dreamville Fest, they can come out with their family and enjoy Goldmouth Garage and get like kind of close to it, or just the pregame before. Yeah. It's basically the pregame before Dreamville Fest. You know, it's that Thursday or maybe it's that Friday. But it's right before it. And so it started 2 years ago, and it was a success. Like, and I didn't know how big of a success it was going to be. Like over 5,000 people came the first year, and we had free haircuts with Vic Blends.
Okay.
So we had free haircuts. We had drinks. Yeah. The only thing we was missing was food.
Okay. The first year or the second?
The first year.
Okay.
Second year, we definitely was trying to go all out this time. Yeah. You know, the stage was bigger. We had more vendors. We had free haircuts again. We had food this time, drinks. Yeah. A lot of things I also wanted to implement. A couple things didn't get to happen. Okay. Because of like licensing and stuff like that at a point in time. But we still made the best of it. Okay. Next year I want to get all that squared away, because I really want it to be like a I just really want it to be a thing and a good time and something where we could give back to a community, whether it be in Raleigh, whether it be in Charlotte. We're trying to bring it to Charlotte as well. You know, and Raleigh hit it off so well because we just had a lot of room to do certain things. So now we're trying to get that same installment in Charlotte. And get that popping, because for me, I feel like Charlotte Charlotte could be a lot bigger, because with Charlotte, it wouldn't be tied to a festival. So then everybody could just really pull up. Yeah. You know, if you got your car, bring it, pull up. Yep. In Raleigh, it's kind of limited because it's only but so many cars we can bring through the corridor.
I'm about to say, you got all that like foot traffic
and all that traffic, and you know, you can't just be like, yo, pull the cars up and block off the. Yeah. We can't do that. But here we got certain spaces. We got Camp North End with that big ass parking lot. Be like, hey, pull up to Camp North End, bring your whips, blah blah. Or you know, just locations like that where you could just have the cars pull up. So I feel like Charlotte be a lot bigger. We just gotta find a really good place and space to host it.
I love it, man. Yeah. I'm proud of you, man.
I appreciate you, bro. Dope, man. I'm just trying to blend all my loves in one. Because, you know, music and cars are therapeutic. A lot of people be like, bro, you always washing your car. I'm like, yo, me washing my car is really my my self-care day. Right. You know what I'm saying? That gives me time to really kind of process things and think about stuff.
Man, that's dope, man. Well, you know, in terms of, you know, shows and touring and all of that, tell me one time or one thing that was just like the wildest experience you've had on the road or experience.
The wildest experience I had was probably in Paris, bruh. I went on tour with Boss in Paris. I was so lit. Like, just so lit, bruh. And we walking through Paris, and we somehow lose Boss and walking through the city or whatever. It was either Paris or Amsterdam. I can't remember. We end up losing Boss, but we all going to this club. We go to the club. We're trying to get in, but we lost Boss because Boss is the guy.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in Paris. It's my first time in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
We trying to get in this club. They not letting me in, or they not letting some of us in
Because they don't know you.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, we with Boss. Like, all I need to know is Boss in there because I need to know if we in the right space.
Yeah.
It's big dude, bro. Like two big bouncer niggas. So I'm like, yo, it's Boss in there. We just need to know.
Did
Boss
you do that with your arm?
Yeah, like yo, we just trying to get in. Not even we just trying to get in. We just need to know Boss in there.
Yeah.
He like, yeah, you got to go around to the other side.
Okay.
So we go around to the other side. Another big bouncer nigga in there. And like, yo, we with Boss. We just trying to figure out Boss is in there already. Cause mind you, we can't call because we roaming.
Okay.
So we on airplane mode. We
Yeah.
can't call, and the people that we lost him somehow. I can't remember how we lost him. And so we at the door like, yo, it's Boss in there. He being rude to me. He tell us to go around to the other side. I'm like, nah. He told us to come around over here to see you. He like, nah, you gotta go over there. So we go back over there. And this time he like, man, I'm not letting none of y'all in. And so I just amp.
Oh man.
I amp, man. And mind you, I'm Lil Boned, bro. I'm the skinny dude, bro. This dude swole.
Yeah.
I'm amping off on this dude. And he got this expression on his face like, yo, I can't believe this dude going off on me like this. And he just like, you know what, never mind. Like, and everybody trying to hold me back type thing. And I remember Boss security finally comes around the corner. He's like, oh no, they good. Yeah. And then he looking at me like, yo, bro, what? I didn't know you had this in you.
God.
But that wasn't the end of it, bro. At the end, we chilling and a dude comes up with a scooter. And he like, yo, Lute. Oh, I can't believe you here. Like, yo, I fuck with your music. I'm like, oh shit, you got a scooter.
It's a lot of randomness.
Let me ride this shit.
Yeah.
Take off with bruh's scooter, bruh. And I'm in Paris on this dude's scooter, bruh. And it run out of gas.
Oh my goodness.
Bruh.
So you stranded.
Yeah, I'm trying to walk this shit back to the club. Mind you, I don't have GPS on my phone.
Gosh,
so I'm trying to walk this shit back up to the club and eventually I'll get back to bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Paris was a good time, bro. Paris and Amsterdam. And I could be mixing both of them. It could be the bouncer thing was in Paris and the thing was in Amsterdam, but
it happened somewhere out
Europe
there.
was a blur, bro, but it was such a good time.
Yeah.
I had such a good time in here. It was my first time, so it's like my first time in Paris, my first time in Germany. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Boss for taking me overseas, bro.
Tour is fun, man. Like, I want to go. I haven't been on tour yet as an artist. Right? Like, I've been everywhere as an engineer, but I want to go as an artist and experience that. I know it's a different high.
I went as an artist where it's like it was kind of like almost like privilege, because my managers would be like, bro, this ain't like, bro, you already on the tour bus or you already doing this. It's like, nah, you. But I got my van experience. I got my we driving the van ourselves. We not on the tour bus. We not this. We not you know. And even that was a fun and great experience, bro. Yeah. Like just seeing the world in general and knowing that you're going to each spot, and sometimes each spot where somebody not knowing you and you doing your music, bro. But then I got to a point where we went to Africa and everybody knew all the words to my music, and it was like, yo, what the fuck,
bro? Africa's like that,
bro. Knew all the words, bro.
It's like that.
Cape Town, infinite love,
bro.
Infinite love for Cape Town.
I don't care who you are as an artist. Like when you go to Africa, like you are loved.
Man,
like they know your music.
That's the most beautiful experience I ever had, bro. To this day, it was a point where I had to tell Mark and them to put the cameras down.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like just put the camera down for like 1 second, bro. Cause I love one, I don't know when the next time we coming back here, and two, look at how beautiful this place is, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's amazing, man.
You gotta travel, man.
Hey, you got to tell me.
Even if it ain't musically, bro, you just gotta travel, man.
My name is Jason Jet for a reason, bro.
That's a fact.
Hey, we got to fly high.
Yeah, bro, you gotta get on that jet plane, man.
Hey, bro, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you
joining
bro.
me.
It's always good,
JetHaus.
You already know.
Always, man. Always.
Hell
Anything you
yeah.
want to tell the folks?
Well, I don't know when this is coming out,
All right.
but I do got a show coming up in Neighborhood Theater on July 6th.
Let's go.
So, you know, if you in town, tickets in my bio, and July 6th is also my birthday, so we just gonna have a fun time and celebrate these 3 projects.
Hey, man. Hey, this is our birthday month. We both Cancers.
Yeah.
My
Come on,
birthday's
Cancer gang.
Yeah.
gang.
The week after yours. So,
Word.
hey, we in there, man.
What day is it? 15th?
Yep, 15th. So, July it's gonna be a beautiful month. Beautiful.
It's gonna be a
month,
beautiful month this year, bro. We're gonna have beautiful birthdays, and you know, niggas getting old, man.
Yeah, right. Nah, man. No.
We season.
We do. Yeah. We
season. That's all.
Hanging on. Yeah, man. Hey.
Yeah.
That's it, dog.
I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you.
Let's get it.
It's a wrap, fellas.
Episode 1 in the books. Hell yeah. Good job.
This guy.
Oh, yeah.
You deleted it.